Yeah.
Looking forward to another literature lesson, I guess.
A little one, the last one
Yeah,
for
the
this
last one.
for this month, and then next week we'll start something completely different.
Oh, it's nice that I'm not really on the spiritual side of things,
Mm-hmm.
but you always do it as more of like, this is cultural and literary and spiritual if you want it to be.
Yeah. There's like morals and life lessons that you could take from it, or you could be like, wow,
Yeah.
what a concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just
Great.
perusing through, I was like cleaning out my bookshelf this weekend, and I found all of my old, I always forget to bring them to class, but next week I'll bring one, the comics that I read as a kid. And, you know, I'd read them diligently when I was a child, and now rereading them, there's so much in here that I just missed when I was reading it in youth. Yeah.
That's very, I've never explored any of it, so this is like a nice little
Intro.
Here's your tiny little intro.
Yeah.
Here's the little surface, and then there's all this if you're interested.
Yeah, I think it wasn't until many years into when I started practicing and teaching that I even put two and two together.
Yeah.
Because I did all of my, you know, I've gone back to India every year since I was a kid, but people will often ask, like, do you study yoga in India? And I'm like, no, I just sit in my family's house and eat the food that they give me. But I think it was years later that I picked up, like, oh, all these poses are named after stories that I've heard.
Yeah.
And it's just fun even for me to make the connection in parallel.
Fun, yeah. Like, wait a second, that's it.
Yes, exactly. This is in the comic. Hi, how are you? Hi, Kathy. Hello. It's been a while. Nice to see you. Have you been here? Or you've been around? Like,
I've been swallowed by my horse.
yeah. Well, happy you're spit back out today. Yeah. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. A lunch class. I love it. Daytime. Hi, Fran. How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
I can't get warm. I don't know.
I know. Today's the day. It's like cold in the bones.
It really is.
There's a couple. What's the day today? Oh, a couple weeks ago I went to. Do you know in FDR Park there's the Swedish Museum?
Of course.
Yeah.
I grew up over
You grew
there.
up over there. They're doing.
Well, I didn't grow up, but we used to walk there
Yeah.
all the time.
They just started. They're doing it for another week, but they have these 3 pop-up saunas.
Oh, I remember when they did it last
Yeah,
year.
they did it again, and I went a couple weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. In a way
Was
that
it really?
before I went, I was like, I'm never going to get warm ever again. And I just cooked in there for 45 minutes.
Heat, though.
Well, you can.
I mean, I like
heat, but not, yeah. You book it for 45 minutes. And so I would sit in for 5 minutes, and then there's a seat outside that you can go sit and just
Really?
watch people playing. But it was really lovely. But maybe just a hot shower inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of that.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we were on vacation and the place we had in Spain this year.
Yeah.
It had had a little spa type thing, it had a room with the sun.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't stay there. Yeah, it wasn't long for me.
Yeah. That's fair. I can't do the, you know how everyone says do the sauna and then cold plunge?
Oh,
I haven't built up,
well, they had that.
I don't know.
They had that cold plunge here.
Yeah. I know. I'm already so cold. Let me just cook even more.
Oh, God.
Man. We'll start soon, y'all. Take your time. I can bring some props over to you as we start to get moving too, but we'll grab all of the usual suspects. The blocks. We'll be doing a few things with the knees down. I'd love to get some time to roll. And I have some stuff with the strap that we can play around with. All the stuff. Better to just, my mentality is like grab it all and then I never have to get off of my mat until I have to go. Yesterday was the first weekend off in a couple of months and I got to take my first yoga class without having to teach it. I forgot what that felt like for a moment where I was like, I don't have to speak. But it was a 2-hour class where it was just focused on the shoulder blades. And so, I mean, we did the whole body, but like the emphasis of teaching was on shoulder blades. And I woke up this morning being like, I feel every bone in my body. Yeah. Hello, nice to see you. I love the yellow. Mm. And you said,
What kind of clothes you're looking for? Just like a normal one? They sell them sometimes
hi honey, good to see you.
yeah, it's in the Costa Farms brand, you know that, but those are like the
Oh,
more
great.
common ones, the ones that are easier to get. But if you are looking for something more rare, you'll have to buy it online, or I can see it kind of
Hi.
we were just ready to do an order. Sometimes.
I mean, I've really plenty.
How are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Some like water more than others. Others like prefer to be in soil in like a humid thing.
I'm still on the hunt, Keyshawn, for New York studios. I texted all the people I know and no one's responded yet, but it's on the list.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably just gonna get like a class pass.
Bop around. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are. I would say try Lowe's first because you get like a full one for like $30. You know what I mean? And that's way easier to start with than like a piece. But if you don't mind, I'm happy to give you some. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just it takes so long to get to where they already are.
It takes long for roots.
It takes long, and then it takes them a long time to bloom. So it's like if you start with this, you're like 5 years out.
Oh,
Whereas,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like you get a full one, within a couple of years, you're gonna have.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna go look.
Did anyone make it to Mariel's roll class yesterday? Yeah. Yeah, so you were occupied. You're the support staff for the roll class. I hope she does it again. It was 75 minutes of just therapy ball rolling. And so just smushing your entire body until it's Play-Doh in a more poetic way. But I was curious if anyone made it because I haven't done one of those in a long time. But hopefully we get to do a few more. Hi, y'all. Come on in as the season continues. Okay, Monday, the rain, she doth persist. What is it? April showers bring May flowers. And I was like, March showers bring April flowers. Yeah, and like a lion. I don't know why I keep saying all of these metaphors. They're just coming out as soon as I start to see you guys. But it's good to be with you all through the rain. Thank you for coming. Hello. We'll definitely use a strap today to where we're moving towards, so I can bring that over to you if you don't have one yet, and some therapy balls and all the other good stuff. Hello. Everyone I know, which is very sweet. But just in case, I'm Anisha. Have been, will continue to be, but I'm really happy to see you all. The quick just schedule, and not schedule, but agenda announcement is, I know I looked at the calendar today and I was like, for sure, next Monday must be April. It's March 30th, but I'm gonna round up and pretend like next Monday is April. And so starting next Monday, I'll start teaching my 7-week chakra series that I do each and every year, where each class is focused on one of these different energetic centers in our body. The whole class will be a full spectrum class, but we just spend a little extra time focusing on one region as we start to work our way up. And like I always say about these unofficial series, if you miss one, you don't miss anything. If you miss them all, you don't miss anything. And if you don't like chakras and you know about them, we'll be done in middle of May. So I'll be happy to see you when it's officially spring and we'll do something different. But today, like we've been working on for the whole month of March, we'll close off the month, or well, my version of the month, finishing with some Shiva stories that we've been sharing all throughout. So as a reminder, his birthday was technically in February. It shifts every year based on the lunar calendar, but it's usually around February or March. And the holiday itself, it's called Maha Shivaratri, meaning Maha meaning great, Shiva meaning the Lord of destruction or the Lord of yoga, and Ratri meaning night. So it's the great night of the celebration of the Lord of Shiva. And over the past couple of weeks, I've shared some mythological stories of who he is, why we talk about him, shared a few things on the deity that symbolize who he is, the little baby at the bottom who, again, just a couple of weeks ago did I realize this baby has a full mustache and is holding a machete in his right hand, but this is the baby and the demon of ignorance that Shiva dances upon. We talked a little bit about what he's holding in his hands, and today I want to share a few touch points about those that he's surrounded with, those who are in his company, those that you often see in the stories that you hear with him. So the first character of the story is, as Shiva is the god of destruction, he represents the god of transformation. His beloved, his divine feminine energy is Parvati, the goddess of the householder. I talk a lot more about her in October because that's when her holiday comes up. But she's the goddess that looks most like us in human form. A lot of the gods and goddesses have a minimum of 4 up to 10 arms. Parvati has 2. She wears plain clothes. She lives in the foothills of the Himalayas. And they encounter each other based on past life. Yeah, so Parvati is a reincarnation of Shiva's beloved, and she comes to him in a time of great need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'll tell you that story in October if you're interested. But the other character that Shiva's most associated with is his vehicle. So as a reminder, all of the gods and goddesses, they have a vehicle that carries them around, and it's often an animal. I point to the camera because there's the stuffed animal of Ganesh up there. He's known to be the remover of obstacles. So he's on top of the camera to remove the obstacle of bonking your head into the camera, which I always do, but he lives up there sometimes. His vehicle, despite his giant stature, is he rides on the back of a tiny little mouse that carries him through and around every scenario. Durga, the warrior goddess, she rides on the back of a lion or a tiger, the greatest wet animal in the animal kingdom. And Shiva is known to be associated with Nandi, the cow. And Nandi in Sanskrit translates in some versions to emitting joy, emitting sweetness, that Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Nandi is a derivative of it, where Nandi is the ability to produce and create a speck of joy. And the reason why I bring up the vehicle, because we're going to take it with us as we do some poses dedicated to the cow face pose, a lot of hip openers, is that oftentimes we think of these characteristics of the gods and goddesses different than us. You look at this deity and you said, there's no way that this is me. And that's partially true because they're kind of an exaggerated version of us. But each of the qualities that exist in Shiva are qualities of our own individual body and being. And just like Nandi, his vehicle, it rides next to him. It sits at the threshold of any door that he's in. We may not necessarily have cows that are sitting next to us and walking us through the city, but as yogis, Your vehicle that's always present, that's always there, is going to be the fluency of your breath. So as we get into a few deep hip openers and some back bends this afternoon, I want you to remember how and where you experience your breath in different places and shapes. It is your ultimate vehicle that'll carry you in lifetimes to come. So we'll see where Shiva, the holy cow, and everything else starts to take us this evening. Evening? Afternoon. We'll begin together in a comfortable seat, please, however that looks for you. So you're more than welcome to begin lying down on the ground if you'd like. You might start with your legs crossed. You might be seated up on your knees. But when you find yourself in your seat, let your eyes either soften to the earth or close completely so you can listen for your vehicle, your own breath. The beauty of the breath is you never have to think about it. It's always present and always there, moving freely and clearly through you. But the moment you notice and remember the vehicle of your breath, it only begins to remember you in return. You might take a few moments to notice where your breath prefers to be. For some of us, it stays higher up in your chest, more in the front parts of your body. And as you remember your breath, can you see how it naturally and steadily begins to deepen? Your next inhale might begin to move from your nose and down into your belly as it fills your chest. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very top of your head. So your head might sit above your heart as your heart rests above your hips. Continue with a few more breaths on your own, noticing how each breath carves out new space, new awareness, new territory in your body. And each exhale, let some part of you somewhere soften. We'll begin our time and our practice here with each other with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, begin to gather your hands to center where that might feel for you, somewhere on your person or in front of your heart in a gesture of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart as you lift your heart up into your thumbs to meet yourself where you are. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment and take notice of that difference that comes when you listen for and remember the vehicle of your breath. And keeping a thread of that connection inward, let your hands slowly release. Start to blink your eyes open. And today we'll begin in tabletop to start to link your breath and movement together. So you might have your blocks framing out the top corners and sides of your mat. But as you make your way to all fours for today, do let your hands come as wide as your mat if they're not already. Take up a little extra room. Spread your fingers, and with your knees under your hips, begin to curl all of your toes under. And now, with linking breath and movement, we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow, Nandi. Arching and rounding your spine with the fluency of your breath. We'll take 5 cycles of breath here just on your own. You might stay in the more rounded or arched shape for a few extra cycles. You might draw your right hip to your right shoulder and breathe into the left side of your waist and vice versa. But take this time to see what it feels like to link the vehicle of your breath with the fluency of your body, slowing down your next breath in and lengthening your exhale through your nose or even mouth. Find your way back to table, come to your neutral spine, and just watch for any props or neighbors behind you. Let's come in for an early calf stretch. Reach your right leg back, curl your right toes under, and reach back through your right heel to notice what you feel in the back of the right leg. Now you might crave some stillness here. You might slowly rock your heel back and forth to notice any new sensation. But as the heel reaches back, whether your eyes are open or closed, can you slide the crown of your head forward so that all four sides of your neck can grow longer? After a few breaths on the first side, take your time to switch. Bend your right knee, reach back through your left, and feel and notice all of these corners of your body and being as you take a full breath in and down, and a longer breath out, reaching the bottom of your heart forward to grow longer. Come back to table, find your neutral spine. And as you walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, let them stay as wide as your mat. Bring your knees back a few inches behind your hips. And as you curl your toes, lift yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Take as many breaths and as much time as you need to find your way there. Now in this down dog, again, might be stillness that you desire. You might pedal your heels one at a time from one side to the other. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously, but can you remember your breath just as you did when you were seated a moment ago? A longer breath in and a deeper breath out. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and one foot at a time begin to walk your feet up towards your palms. Come into your forward fold. You have the vehicle of your breath, the vehicle of your props, and you might gather them to bring your hands up onto blocks out in front of your feet, to bring the floor higher to meet you where you are. Maybe you widen your feet an inch or soften your knees to give your low back some extra room. But let the weight of your head be heavy as you bow in towards yourself. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. After a few breaths, climb your hands up to your hips. Stand through your legs, and a big inhale brings you all the way up to rise as your hands slide down by your sides. Let your feet come right underneath your hips with your toes pointing ahead. A big inhale to reach up. And as you exhale, soften your knees to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Come reach the bottom of your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold. Plant your palms and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. With your knees lifted or your knees tapped to the ground behind you, take a few breaths here. Press through your palms to feel your shoulder blades widen. And now slide your ears back to bring your head in line with your chest. A big breath in. As you exhale, begin to bend your elbows and lower all the way down to your belly. With those hands as wide as your mat, take up some room. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 slow, steady breaths at your pace. A few weeks ago, we talked about the 3 divine energies in the yogic tradition. The energy of creation, of preserving, and of destruction. And you contain that within your own breath. Every inhale, an opportunity to create, to begin. The pause before the exhale, a moment to preserve, to notice and sustain. And the exhale, every exhale, a moment to dissolve, to destroy, so that you can create again. So as you take a longer breath in, let it fill your belly and up into your heart. And a deeper breath out through every direction of you. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward to come forward, feet towards your hands, into your standing forward fold. Inhale lengthens you halfway, reach your heart forward. And exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a long breath in to come up to rise. Stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to let your hands come down by your sides. One more time, follow your breath more than my voice. As you inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Take your entire breath to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, back to plank pose. A full cycle of breath here. Slide the ears back. And as you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Bhujangasana, Cobra. Drink the breath in. And exhale to take it back to down dog, table, or puppy. 3 more breaths at your pace. We move differently, yet still together as you listen for your next inhale. And lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. At the bottom of your breath, there's no rush. Take your time to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, to come forward, feet to your hands, into your standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, lean more into the balls of your feet than back into your heels. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to let your hands come down by your sides. On your next inhale, big breath in to reach up, get an inch taller. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Use your own fists to measure your feet about 2 fists width apart, relatively hip distance. And for chair pose, as you bend your knees, sit your hips back, your hands might come to your thighs, to your hips, or to add some heat, reach your arms up overhead. But remember the breath. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Let your butt get heavy to the back of the room as you lift your chest and your gaze away from the floor. On your next inhale, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge, and with your hands on blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot, wiggle your left toes back just another inch. Now stay in the lunge, take a breath to lift your chest, grow long through the spine, and exhale to fold as your right leg straightens. Let's do that 2 more times. Wait for your inhale, come through to lunge, bend the knee, lift your heart, and exhale to straighten your right knee as you fold. 1 more time, big inhale, breathe into the belly and chest. And on your exhale, fold as your front leg straightens. Now take a few breaths here. Can you wrap your left hip to the front of the room? Tack your right hip to the back of your mat. And as much as your hips can stay square facing forward, you might let your left heel get heavier to the back of your mat for a bonus calf stretch. Perhaps you press down and forward into your hands to flex your right foot so you're just on the right heel. But anywhere you find yourself, a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Maybe the elbows soften to the sides as you bow in towards that straight right leg. Breathing. Take 1 more breath in and a longer breath out. Unclench those fingers around the blocks or the floor. And now back it up. Bend your right knee, look forward, and all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right. As you inhale, lengthen halfway. Notice any difference from side to side. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. At the second side, keep your left foot forward. Slide your right foot back to find the lunge. Sometimes we shortchange ourselves on this first round, so you might wiggle the right toes back another inch. Now with your breath, more than my voice, big inhale to lift the heart. And on your exhale, straighten your left knee as you fold. 2 more times. Slow belly breath in, get longer through the spine. And as you exhale, straighten your front leg. 1 more time. Take a long breath in, come through to your lunge. And the 3rd time, you straighten your left knee. Pause here for a few breaths. Those hips sometimes want to spiral open to the right. So can you wrap your right hip forward? Make space for the left butt cheek to move back. And as much as those hips stay square and steady, you might let your right heel get heavier to the back of your mat. Notice what you feel in the back of your right leg. You might flex your left foot to just be on the left heel. But a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Let the elbows soften. Bow in as you unclench your fingers around the blocks or the floor. Breathing. On your next inhalation, back it up. Bend your right knee. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat. And we meet in downward facing dog as you step your left foot back to meet your right. Pedal the heels one at a time, a breath to notice. And with those hands as wide as your mat, give yourself a little extra room. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra. Press your feet down as you lift your heart up. And on your exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Breathing. A slow breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Now from your down dog, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to find your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet over to the left and come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. And as those legs straighten, see if all 10 of your toes can point straight ahead. Sometimes the toes want to turn out. And for a breath, lift and spread your toes to see where the weight falls in the corners of your feet. Now, as the toes lift, can you lower just the big toe down? Then spread the other toes as you lower those down without gripping the toes, breathing. Take a full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. You might bow in towards yourself as the legs stay steady. That's it. Now with your head low, take a breath to start to walk your hands to frame out your right foot, bend your right knee. And on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms and your chest to the sky. Walk your right foot an inch over to the right so those feet are less on a balance beam. And like in that pyramid, wrap your left hip forward, tack your right hip back, stretch up through the fingertips, look away from the floor as you bend into your front thigh. Now we did this last week. We'll trident the arms, begin to bend your elbows, hug the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. And on your inhale, straighten your arms back up to the sky. 2 more. Exhale to bend the elbows, hug the shoulder blades. Big breath in to reach up, even lift your gaze. And then last one, as you hug the shoulder blades, bend the elbows and bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. On your exhale, look to the floor, tap your hands to the ground, and take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, a breath to see any difference, and a few more times together with those hands wide. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your breath to rise, Cobra Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap. We'll take a shoulder stretch on this side as you lift your left leg to the sky. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. And perhaps bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right. As you come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the other side, I like to hold the strap between my hands because it gives my chest a lot of space. You might interlace your fingers at your low back, but start with your hands holding or not holding the strap and bend your elbows quite a bit. Now with the elbows bent, hug your shoulder blades towards each other. And as you breathe in, start to reach your arms off of your butt towards the sky without letting the elbows lock out. Sometimes at the last second, they want to hyperextend. Keep a teeny bend in your knees that you might not see, but you can feel. And now a tinier bend in your elbows. Now as you try to tug your strap or your fingers apart, hug the shoulder blades together. And maybe your arms reach overhead 1 more inch as you bow in towards yourself, breathing in through the nose. Stay for the exhale as you offer the breath out. And now slowly release your hands to your tush. Ditch your strap to the side if you used it. With your head heavy, begin to turn your left knee and toes to find your lunge. And on your inhale, high lunge on the second side. Walk that left foot as much as you need to the left. But here, those hips sometimes want to spin open to the right. Wrap your right hip forward. Tack the left hip back. And as you look away from the ground, take a big breath in. As you exhale, not only bend into your left thigh, but bend your elbows into the trident. Lift your chest. Inhale to reach your arms up, lift your gaze, and big exhale to bend the elbows as you hug the shoulder blades. One more big breath in, lift your heart. Stay for the exhale as the shoulder blades hug and you lift the bottom of your heart to the sky, even lean back against yourself. And now release your hands to the floor, step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels and a breath to see the difference. On your next inhalation, come forward to plank pose, the top of your push-up. And this time, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, trident the arms once again. So let's come into a round of locust with a different variation in the arms. So clear any blocks if they're there. As you reach your arms off to the side, let your elbows come in line with your shoulders and press your palms down into the floor. Now, before we lift, feel your legs in space. Press your feet down and hug your legs towards each other as if they could become the stick of the trident, the very bottom. Press your palms down into the floor and hug the shoulder blades together. On your inhale, start to lift your head. Lift your chest, float your arms up off of the earth. And exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground. Try to close or even soften your eyes and listen for your breath. With each inhale, hug the legs towards each other. Think inner thighs towards the ceiling. And now hug the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. Lift your elbows one more inch. Lift your palms one more inch. One more breath in. And on your exhale, release. You might make a pillow with those hands. Rest on one side of your cheek or on your forehead. You might wiggle your hips from side to side or breathe slow and steady into your belly. Okay, after a few breaths here, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press up through to tabletop. Come up to your hands and your knees. And from table, find a few rounds of breath in cat and cow. Begin to round and arch your spine once again. You might soften or even close your eyes. And as you round into cat pose, try to press your palms down and forward. Widen your shoulder blades. As you drop your belly, hug the shoulder blades together to lift your chin and feel the front of your throat. Now come back to table. Find your neutral spine once again. Spend a few moments on the knees. And if you'd like some padding underneath your knees, we can grab a blanket. You might also have blocks underneath your hands as we come in for the first of the thigh stretches here on the floor. So make your way to tabletop with the blanket or blocks or not, but step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Come into your lizard lunge variation. Walk your left knee back an inch or two so your knee is behind your hip. And this time, one block and one hand at a time, walk your hands over to the left corner of your mat. Now peek over your left shoulder, say hi to your left leg, bend your left knee and lift your left toes up off the ground. With your right hand connected, reach your left hand around for the top of your foot or a strap or the heel or the leg of your pants for Anjaneyasana, low lunge with a thigh stretch. You might stay here as you press your right hand into the block to lift your chest. You might steadily play with some variations. Maybe your right hand comes back to the inside of your right foot. Perhaps you play with some balance and climb your right palm up onto your right thigh. Or your right hand might wrap around to hug onto your left foot. But anywhere you find yourself, remember the breath. A deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Try to lift the bottom of your heart. Lift your gaze as you bend into your right knee. Get heavy in the front leg. Good. Slowly let your right hand touch down first. Then release the back foot. Take it back to tabletop. A few breaths in stillness, a few breaths in cat and cow to feel that vehicle of your breath, that little cow that rides along right next to you, breathing. Let's take the second side. So when the time comes, as you make your way back to table, bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Scoot your right knee back an inch or two so it's behind the hip. And here, when you walk your hands over to the right, you're trying to shorten the distance between your hand and your foot. So as you bend your right knee, your right hand might have a little more access to lasso a strap to grab the leg of your pants or your heel. And now breathe here. Sides can be very different. This may be more than appropriate to take a breath or two here, or any of those variations apply that we did on the other side. As you walk your left hand back to the inside of the foot, you might climb it up onto the thigh. You might wrap it around to hug the right heel towards your butt. But breathing, a deep breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Try to lift your heart, lift your gaze as you bend into your front thigh. Now slowly let one hand come down first, then let go of your back foot. Take it back to tabletop. You can clear the blocks out of the way. And from table, downward facing dog as your butt lifts up and back to the wall behind you. Pedal the heels. Notice any difference you feel and see. And on your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. One more time, step your right foot through to find your lunge. And as you breathe in, ride your inhale to come up to rise for high lunge. Revisit it. Lift the back heel, stretch up through the arms, and bend into your front thigh. Now hands come to your hips. Tiny bend in your back knee, get springy, and take all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Stand down through your right leg, grow up and out through the crown of your head, and this time lower both of your feet to the ground as you bend your knees and sit your butt back into chair. Lean into your left foot, lift your right heel, and begin to cross your right ankle over your left thigh for standing figure 4. Now your hands can go anywhere that they steady you, to your hips, to your heart, on blocks, or even up overhead. But take a long breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Can you lift your gaze as you let your butt get 1 inch lower to the back of the room? Now on an inhale, come all the way up to rise. This time, like you did in the thigh stretch, reach your right heel towards your right butt and let your right hand hold onto the foot. Hug your thighs towards each other. Shrug your right shoulder up and back. And as you push your foot back into your hand, begin to bow forward, reach your chest forward. Now you might keep your left hand on your hip. You might reach it out in front of you, or like you did in the thigh stretch, it might wrap around to hug onto the right foot. But push your foot back into your hand as you lift your chest up, taking a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. Now inhale to lift your heart. Reach your arms to the sky. See if you can draw the right knee to your chest. Whee! And thread your right foot back to find your lunge. Tap your hands to the ground and take it back to downward facing dog. I sprung that one in on you, but from the corner of my eyeball, it looked good. Breathe. Notice the difference that you feel. And let's try the second side. So wait for the inhale to lift your left leg up. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. Slow breath in to come up to rise for high lunge on the last side. Walk your left foot again as much as you need to the left and feel your breath, a deeper breath in and down. And as you exhale, bend into your front thigh as you reach up and out through the crown of your head. Your hands might stay overhead. Maybe you bring them to your hips. But as you get springy off your back foot, take all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Stand down through your bottom leg. Grow up and out through the crown of your head. And now lower your feet to the ground. Bend your knees. Sit your butt back. Hands might come to your hips. As you lean into your right foot, lift your left heel. And for standing figure 4, cross your left ankle over. Your hands can always come onto blocks out in front of you to hold something steady. But remember the breath, that vehicle that threads its way through. A deeper breath in and down, and a longer breath up and out. Now as you stand through your right leg, draw your left heel towards your left butt and let your left hand hold the top of the foot. I like to start with my right hand on my hip, but as you unlock your right knee, hug your thighs towards each other, shrug your left shoulder up and back, and lift your chest, breathing. Stay here the whole time, or as you bow forward, push your foot back into your hand. And now your right hand can stay. It might reach up overhead. It might wrap around to hug onto the left foot. But think foot back into your hand as you lift your heart up, breathing. And now see if you can reverse. Big inhale to lift the chest. Reach your arms up, draw the left knee to your belly button, and thread the left foot back to lunge. Whee! Tap your hands to the ground and take it back to downward facing dog. Stay right here and breathe. You might lower your knees to the ground and take a few breaths closer to gravity. Your breath also might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together before. But anywhere you so choose to go, staying still or moving, can you feel the full depth and fluency of your breath? Longer inhales in and deeper exhales out. A moment to create, to preserve, and to destroy so that you can create again. Okay, at the bottom of your breath, no rush. You'll find your way to downward facing dog as you lift your heels, soften your knees, walk your feet to the middle of your mat, walk your hands to the middle of your mat to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, grow long through the spine, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. And now here, let the knees be soft, let your head be heavy. Your hands might be on the ground or on blocks in front of you, or you might catch opposite elbows. But take a full breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale, bowing in towards yourself, towards your own heart. And now after a few breaths, climb those hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale brings you up to rise as you release your hands. Almost there. One more thing to try out, and then we're coming to sit down. Sip water, take breaks, give yourself time that you need. We did this to close off the month. We did this month 1, week 1 of the pose dedicated to Shiva. We've done it a few times already, but Nattarajasana, that standing thigh stretch, this time for Shiva Nattarajasana, an option with the strap. So I'll show it really quick while you drink some water, catch your breath, take a moment or two. And here, there's options, yeah? If you see what I'm about to show next and you say, Anisha, I'm really disinterested in doing that, there's not even a lick of desire that I'm like, you have to do anything that I say, yeah? You can work exactly what we've done before with a hand on the foot, hugging the thighs in to lift your chest up. Or for this other variation that's slightly different, I drew a very short strap, but your strap might be a little longer. As you bring the strap around one of your feet, and I'll talk you through this in a second, one foot comes over and you lunge into that leg. Now, as you bend this knee, you might have a longer strap than I do, so maybe the elbows come out and around to the sides like you're patting yourself on the back. And now the same actions, this knee wants to straighten. I want you to unlock the knee, hug the thighs in. You see his standing knee here? Yeah? You see how it's bent? This is the symbol of this bent knee is the ability to stay flexible, to stay grounded, because as soon as the knee locks out, that's when the whole thing comes over. So even the gods bend the knee. We can too. Bend the standing knee. And as you hug the thighs in, then maybe you push your foot back and lift the chest up. You'll take a few breaths here, and then to come out, the foot lowers down. Yeah? You can try it with the strap. If you don't want to use the strap, I'll talk you through holding onto the foot. But for those that are using the strap, have it be like a big jump rope. If you haven't picked a foot already, maybe the right foot into the strap by popular demand, and then cross your handles like you're making a little bow over the foot. Now step your left foot over and through, bend your standing knee, lunge, 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 lean forward. And as you lean forward, then maybe your right heel lifts as you bring your right heel to your butt cheek. Now hug the thighs towards each other. Unlock the standing knee. The voice of Shiva commands it. And as you push your foot back into the strap, can you lift your heart? And maybe your hands walk down the strap towards your right foot as you unlock the standing knee and push your foot back to lift your heart up, breathing. Whoo! When you want to come out, take your time. There's no rush. Slowly release to lower your feet. Beautiful. Is that a helpful voice? Can really make a bullhorn. See, when the knee locks out, that's when it gets wobbly, and that's the last. The standing knee is the last thing I'm thinking about, but it's where I want you to transfer your attention to first, because it helps dial everything up the center of the chain. Let's do the last leg. Left foot into the strap, or the other side you didn't do. Cross your handles over the foot, and now step your right foot forward and lunge into the leg. Bend the knee. As you lean forward, your left heel lifts and you draw it towards your butt. Take a breath. That vehicle of your breath carries you through. Hug your thighs together. Push your foot back. Can you lift your chest and try to even soften the gripping of your hands around the strap? It'll still stay, but let that be soft. And now unlock the standing knee as you lift your heart, breathing. Nice, y'all. When you are ready to come out, slowly release, ditch your strap off to the side, and come to stand at the top of your mat. Let your feet come wider than your hips, and a big inhale to reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, take a generous bend in your knees as you fold over your legs. Now plant your palms to the top of your mat. Step your feet to the back of your mat to take it to downward facing dog. And from your down dog here, bring your feet an inch wider than they all are already. Lift your heels and soften the knees. I'll stop doing that, but soften the knees. And now lift your butt up and back towards the wall behind you. We're trying to find the curves in and through the spine as a counter pose. Now with the butt lifting high, the legs might start to straighten as you press the thighs back and let your heels get heavier to the floor, breathing into every corner of your body and being. On your next inhale, the last time together, come forward to plank pose. As you exhale, lower down to your belly. Drink in your breath for one more Bhujangasana, cobra. Hug the shoulder blades together, slide the throat back, and exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, lower both knees to the floor, come to tabletop. Pause here, or perhaps Ananda or child's pose, Balasana, feet together, widen your knees. You might stretch your hips back to your heels as your head gets heavy to a block or to the floor. You might also lay fully on your belly in pranam. But take 3 deep breaths at your pace. Let the belly be soft and full. Let the head be heavy to anything it's connected to. As you slow down the next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out through your nose or mouth. Okay, after a few breaths, press up back to tabletop and come to sit onto your butt facing the front of the room. Now have a few things close by. So have a strap close by, and once you come to sit onto your tush, I like to give myself a little self-assessment. You can bring your hands to your low back, and if it feels like your low back is rounding into your palms, like mine always is doing, I'd like to sit up onto the edge of a blanket to give my hips a little height. We'll be doing a few seated hip openers and twists. But once your butt comes down onto the blanket or floor, bring your hands to either side of you and press through your fingertips to lift your chest. Now bend your right knee, bring your right foot to the floor, and cross your right foot over your left thigh. Try to let the big toe side edge of your right foot come down as you lift your chest up. And now walk your right hand to come back behind you as you reach your left arm forward and up to the sky. A big breath in. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Either bend your left elbow to hook it across the right thigh, or hug the right thigh in towards your belly. But for the seated twist, anchor your right butt cheek down towards the ground. Press your right big toe into the earth. And as your belly and chest turns to the right, can you slide your ears back so your head is in line and sitting on top of your heart, breathing? Every breath moves in and down. Each exhale as you shrug your left shoulder up and back. Let your belly and chest start to turn to the right. For these last few breaths, you might begin to turn your gaze over your right shoulder, as if your left eyeball could look over your right shoulder blade, feeling the twist come from bottom all the way to the top. And on your next inhalation, begin to unwind, unravel yourself. Bend both knees, bring your feet flat onto the floor, and just watching for any props next to you. You might windshield wiper your knees from side to side. For the second round, the next time your knees come back up, straighten your legs, press through your fingertips to lift your chest, get nice and tall. And as you bend your left knee, bring your left foot to the floor, cross your left foot over your right thigh. Here, when the foot crosses over, sometimes that left butt cheek wants to lift. Anchor your left butt cheek down. Press the big toe side edge of your left foot down. Walk your left hand back behind you. Reach your right arm forward and up. How long can you get? A big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbow to hook over that left thigh as you turn your chest to the left. You might soften or close your eyes to feel your breath. These seated poses, we stay for longer. And from the outside looking in, it might not seem like there's a lot of movement. But from the inside out, there's an entire universe of shift. With each breath, it moves in and down to anchor you to the floor. And as you exhale and you shrug your left shoulder up and back, slide your ears back and turn your belly from right to left, breathing. These next few breaths, your gaze might start to look straight ahead, or you might start to turn your gaze towards the back of the room, as if your right eyeball could look to the beyond your back shoulder blade. But a full breath in and down. Stay for one more exhale as you grow up and out through the crown of your head. And now inhale to unwind as you unravel your legs. One last time, straighten your legs out in front of you. Have your strap close by, off to the right side of your mat. And this time, as you bend your right knee, cross your right knee over your left knee, so the knees come to stack one on top of the other. This is plenty of sensation for me as you flex your right foot and lift the chest. If you want something different, you might bend your left knee and draw your left heel towards your right butt cheek. But anywhere you are, one knee or both knees bent, anchor both hips to the floor, and grab your strap actually into your left hand. Reach your left arm up towards the sky, holding the strap. And as you bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back. Now reach your right arm off to the side. You might turn your right thumb to face the floor. And as the right elbow bends, you'll grab the dangly edge of the strap behind you for Gomukhasana or cow face pose. Your legs make the mouth, your elbows make the ears. So as you wrap your left arm towards your ear, hug the right elbow more to the middle of your spine. Gently try to tug your strap apart and start to press your head back to lift your chin. There's plenty to do here with your eyes soft, your feet flexed, and your breath full. If you'd like something different, you might start to hinge as if your chin could hook over your top right knee. But if you come down and you say, come back up to stay lifted. But 3 more breaths. Every breath moves in and down. Every exhale, try to unclench the fingertips as you gently press your head back. Even if you're folded forward, feel a slight amount of resistance to lift the chin. Good. If you folded forward on your next inhale, come all the way back upright. And now release your arms from the strap, ditch it off to the side. I only teach this pose a couple times a year, and there's a few ways to exit this. You can straighten your legs and uncross them, or I call this the little vornado. If you see this and it doesn't work, don't worry about it. But if your right leg is on top, you're going to walk your hands over to the left, and ta-da! I learned it once and I haven't gotten it out of my head. So if you want to switch sides, you'll walk your hands over to the left with your right leg on top and then just go around the circle to have your left knee on top. If you're like Anisha, absolutely not. Straighten your legs and do the other side. Left knee comes on top. Stay here with your right leg straight as you lift your chest. And sometimes that left foot wants to sickle, meaning the sole of the foot comes to the ceiling. Try to press through the big toe ball mound. There's plenty to do here, breathing. You might bend the right knee and bring your right heel towards your left butt cheek. But go ahead and hold the strap in your right hand. Reach your right arm forward and up. And as you bend your right elbow, grab the pat yourself on the back. Reach your right arm off to the side, turn your thumb to face the floor, and your hand can grab the opposite edge of the strap. Now, depending on which arm you're dominant with, one side might feel very different than the other, but seek these actions. Sometimes that right elbow wants to swing to the right. Wrap your right arm towards your ear, and then feel your left elbow move more to the middle of your spine. Gently tug your strap apart and press your head back to lift your chin as you breathe. If you did so on side 1, you might want to fold and hinge from your hips as if your chin could hook over that top left knee. But feel the vehicle of your breath, even in the seemingly pretzel shape you've taken. Can you let your next breath move in and down? And as you exhale, try to unclench your fingers around the strap as you gently press your head back, even if you're folded forward. Now on your next inhale, press your head back to come up to rise if you folded. Uncross your arms, ditch your strap off to the side, and uncross your legs as you bring both feet back onto the floor. One last time, being mindful of any neighbors or props. Drop your knees from side to side. And now the next time you come back through center, take a little spin. Come to lie onto your back with your head towards the front, feet towards the back, and your therapy balls within a grabbable distance. And if anyone needs therapy balls, feel free to lay down, get comfortable, raise a hand, and I can happily bring some over to you. But once you come to lay down onto your back, before we set up for Shavasana, I'll talk you through a few rounds of therapy balls in the back of the skull to prepare for rest. So you can keep them in their tote or take them out, it's up to you. But start to gently lift your head up off the floor and place the therapy balls to the very base of your skull. So we all have those 2 bony points at the base of your skull and the top of your neck, your occipital lobes. There were muscles and nerves in your neck and jaw attached. They hold a lot of information in there. And now I find if I don't stay holding them, they tend to slip out of the way. But you might let your elbows drop down to the sides. And now with the therapy balls in the back of your skull, begin to slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no, to notice what you feel from one side to the other, breathing. Perhaps you even open and close your mouth to notice what the jaw and tongue feel like. And now after a few breaths at the base of your skull, you might bring those therapy balls another inch or two higher than just where they were, to the middle of the skull. They might be close together. You might bring them slightly wider apart. But as you take a big breath in and a longer breath out, begin to slowly once again nod your head yes and nod your head no. As you nod your head no to the right, you might nod your head yes when you get there, and vice versa to the left. But notice what it is that you feel here in the very center back of your skull. And now after a few breaths, slowly release those therapy balls off to the side as you let the weight of your head drop down to the ground. Take a breath into what you might not ordinarily see, but you can clearly feel. And the next place to meet is in your pose of rest. So this is your time to take anything it is that you need, any layers, any props to support yourself. You might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side. But begin to drape yourself down onto the earth in any way, shape, or form, where the right, the left, and the front and back of your body can find as much symmetry as possible, as much softening. And know, once you find your way down to the earth, you can shift or adjust, but allow for yourself to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already. It's here, the ultimate pose of dissolution, where the entire practice goes to dissolve away. Where every cycle of breath helps you arrive to where you are now. And every round of breath creates more space and room for what has yet to come. So can you, for these next few moments, let your breath continue to settle and soften you into the earth? And the heavier you continue to become, the more spacious you might just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a steadier breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath up and out in every direction. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head slowly from one side to the other. Or being mindful of any props or neighbors, perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend your knees, feel both feet on the ground, reach one or both of your arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choosing, curled into yourself. A breath or two here, and with the least amount of effort required, press down into the ground and come up to rise to a seat facing the front of the room. As you draw your hands together to center, we'll close our time the same way we started, with one round of breath. Take a long breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out in every direction. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced alongside next to you. And I bow to each one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you. Drink water. Take good care of yourselves and each other. March and April showers will bring May flowers. If there are any things that you use from the studio or you want to give yours a swipe, I think there's a fresh bucket of wipes here. And then otherwise, we'll start chakras next Monday, work our way slowly up. And it's coming up soon. I didn't realize April was sooner than I thought. But on Saturday, April 11th, so it's not this weekend, it's not next weekend, it's the weekend after that, I'm offering a 2-hour workshop called Advancing Asana. I offer them every couple of months, but we get into poses that we might not have time for in a 1-hour class. And if you have any requests or poses that have confounded you, it's very conversation style and no prerequisites required, just curiosity and interest. But I think that's it. It is at, I should know this, but I'm looking at the clipboard, 12:30 to 2:30 on April 11th. I'll share it sooner when we're there. I think that's it from me. Anyone else have announcements? Things in your worlds that other people might want to know about or go to or see or do? Thank you. It's like the season of plant sales is coming up soon. If you know of any. Bartram's Garden, but that's a little later, right?
It's April 18th.
Oh, soon.
I think so.
Great. I believe
I
you.
might be lying to you. Something's happening in April. I think their plans now.
I believe you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Oh, you okay?
I'm too short.
To come out from here? You okay?
I'm totally fine.
Okay, good.
I just honestly, I never even occurred to me that I never run into anything.
It's sometimes, every time I come in here, it's a different height. So I think it's you. Yeah, it's not you. It's the camera. It has a mind of its own. April 18th. Thank you. You did? I know. We're all cosmically linked.